Muay Thai kickboxing belt coming out. Just talked to him briefly before the show started. He's going to tell us more about it here, and we'll get to know him throughout the show as well. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time is Mr. Gage Looby. What's happening, man?
How you doing?
So, tell me about your upcoming fight.
So this coming Saturday at Extreme Cage Fighting on Millions, I will be competing in my fourth ever pro fight. I will be competing in a pro Muay Thai match, which will be 5 rounds. This is my first ever 5-round matchup, and I'm super excited for this.
I'm happy for that because I don't get to interview too many pro Muay Thai kickboxers. Is this your first pro, you said?
This is my first 5-round as a pro.
Okay. And where is this event at?
It's in Queens, New York, in the NYC arena.
Okay. So you're from the New York area?
Yeah, I'm definitely from the New York area. I'm born and raised in Queens.
Oh, man. I don't recall. I think I took a tour. Okay, I went to New York about 10 years ago, and I took a tour bus, and I got to drive by where Reverend Run or DMC grew up. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So what kind of... So tell me about your opponent coming up. Do you know anything about him?
Juwan Jackson. He's a 4-fight veteran. He also has a couple of boxing experience. He's a pretty crafty guy. He's a little older than me, but he's just one of those guys that just signed the contract when I was looking for a fight. And besides that, to me, it's just another guy that's just stepping in my way.
Yeah. What weight class you fighting at?
This fight will be at 175.
Okay, good. So what is that? Welterweight, super middleweight?
That would be like this fight is going to be like a catchweight.
Okay, I was about to say.
Because we was originally supposed to fight at welterweight, but I guess he misconstrued the weight or whatever, so he's coming over 5 pounds extra, which I said is okay. So
okay. Yeah, I mean, hey, that's very forgiving of you, that's for sure, and I'm sure it helps out that you don't have to cut that extra 5 pounds anyway. So, yeah, I think obviously if you want some title fights, you'll have to fight more at the weight class that you're going to be fighting at.
Well, yeah, like I said, I moved up in weight. Usually I fight at like 45, 55. This fight was just, he couldn't make the weight, so I was like, you know what, okay, I'll meet you there, I'll boost up my weight. So this is just like a one-time thing, but after this fight, I'm definitely going to go back to my original weight.
Do you feel comfortable fighting at this weight, even though it's above your weight class?
I fought at this weight when I was an amateur, when I was still trying to figure out what weight I really wanted to fight at. So it's been like probably 3 years since I fought at 75, but just being in the gym, actually just working, I feel confident. At this weight class, I feel a little more energized than I usually do. But I don't know. Let's see fight day how I feel,
Yeah, exactly. I can't imagine. Like, I remember I was watching Rumble Johnson, from the UFC fight, and he was always at 170, but he had a hard time making that weight, and he was having a hard time making 85, and then all of a sudden he's like a natural 205er for some reason. So
yeah, the weight cuts are crazy. Like, I usually sometimes I walk around at like 185 and I cut down to like 55, 45. So this one isn't too much of a weight cut, but it's still like, okay, it's not a weight class I'm used to. My body's already trained to cut a lot of weight, but it is what it is. As long as I get the fight, that's all that matters.
How long have you been training and competing?
So this will be my 8th year coming Saturday.
Okay, very good. And how long have you been pro now?
I've been pro for almost 2 years.
So how comfortable were you going? Like, was your coaches, or was it you kind of like holding you back from being pro?
I looked at when I was an amateur. I had already a lot of fights under my belt. I just wasn't feeling a lot confident in myself to turn pro because I already knew majority of the pros, like a lot of people, if I fight at 55, they're like, oh, these guys are like 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". You're going to have to cut down to 45. Then when you fight the 45ers, majority of the 45ers that's in my region or the Georgian guys. And I didn't feel confident in my my wrestling ability at the time. So I kind of like took a break in between turning pro and amateur. I took I think it was like a year or two off I took, and then I decided, you know what, I feel confident in myself, maybe it's just time to turn pro, and then I turned pro, I think, back in December of 23. I turned pro, and then we had a couple incidents where I couldn't. I had opponents for pro, then they bailed out, so that's why it kind of looks like, oh, he only has 4 pro fights. Yeah, we had a lot of backouts leading up to this, so
yeah,
I mean, I'm officially pro.
It's a relatively short amount for a year and a half to have pros, but at the same time, punches and bunches are nice, but you'll get those eventually.
Yeah, like I already had I had a lot of fights under my belt. I had I think 13 MMA fights. I had 10 Muay Thai matches. I had 6 kickboxing bouts. I had 4 boxing bouts. So
Dude,
I had a lot of amateur experience, but it was more of am I actually ready for the next step?
Dude, am I looking at cauliflower ear on you, by the way?
No, actually, no cauliflower ear, no cauliflower ear.
Okay, you're okay.
No cauliflower ear.
Okay, so your ear's just big. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did have cauliflower, but then I drained it about 2 years ago.
Wait a second. I thought when you got cauliflower ear though that it hardens up forever.
No, you can drain it, but it's more of a it's kind of before it hardens up, you can drain it, but it's more of a painful way to do it.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that was permanent or something.
No, if you see a lot of UFC fighters, they really don't have a lot of cauliflower hair, and you see they be going through wars.
Yeah, but I saw Randy Couture and Brock Lesnar, and those guys had
well, if you look at Brock, right, and Brock was already going through a lot of things, so I think the cauliflower ear really wasn't a major concern. He was more worried about his liver than his ear.
True, but the man's a multi-millionaire. He could get that fixed if that's a possibility.
But it's a battle scar. A lot of guys like battle scars.
I hear you, man. I you know what? Maybe it's just I'm just trying to look too pretty all the time. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, it's all about the battle scars. It shows you've been in through a couple of wars if you have those.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I get it. I just saw him on SummerSlam on Saturday night.
I was actually just there. I was actually there, which is crazy.
Oh man! So you're a big wrestling fan too?
Huge wrestling fan since the '90s. I was a huge fan of WCW. I was a huge fan of the NWO.
So, yeah. Well, how old are you?
26.
Okay, so around let's see, so 26. So you were born in 99.
right when WCW was just going down.
99. Okay. I remember in 01, I met John Cena. He was known as the Prototype. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
So, this is Jerry Lawler territory. And Jerry Lawler had a lot of connections and stuff like that. So I met John Cena in 01. He was known as the Prototype. I used to have for about 6 months, I had a relationship with The Rock's father, Rocky Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
So I was around him a lot. I met... You might be too young to remember this guy. He was known as Mordecai, and he went by Kevin Thorne in the new ECW.
Oh, yeah. I remember him. He competed in 2003. He was the fake anti-Undertaker, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yep.
He had a few good matches, and then they just, I think he got shipped down to OVW, and then he came back as Kevin Thorne, and that character didn't stick, so...
Yep. I had a short relationship with him too, man. Didn't know his real name. I don't even think Kevin Thorne was his real name, but I knew him real well. I've met quite a bit of the stars that you kind of grew up on and stuff like that. So actually, I met The Rock himself in 04. He was getting ready to premiere his movie Be Cool, and he'd come in town to see his dad, and I briefly met him, and I get it. The guy was, he's jacked. He was tan. He had the smile the size of a watermelon slice. I mean, I get why he is who he is.
Yeah, I'm a huge pro wrestling fan. I actually, during my time away from fighting, I actually started going to pro wrestling school out here in New York.
Yeah. You know what? You might want to stick with fighting. Pro wrestling I hear it does more damage to the body long term.
Well, yeah, but my teacher, he taught me pretty good. I don't know if you ever heard of him, Amazing Red. He runs a school out here in New York, so I started training with them during my time away from fighting. So love the House of Glory school. I was actually thinking about returning after this fight, but
yeah.
see how things go. Especially with Zilla being around, I kind of don't want to.
I saw Red wrestle in Nashville about 20 years ago. So everybody was always talking about the hype around like Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio was probably a better storyteller, but Red was definitely a much better, like flashy wrestler.
Better technician, way better technician.
Yeah, absolutely. So good stuff. So, what do you plan? So going back to your fight, what do you plan on doing as far as like, do you plan on trying to do this for a living?
I went pro for a reason. This wasn't just, oh yeah, I'm just doing this for the moment. No, I want to take it fully, but I think my path is a little different than everybody else's. You probably get a lot of fighters that's like, oh yeah, I want to get to the UFC. I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm not looking for the UFC. If the UFC calls me, they call me. They don't, they don't. I'm looking to get on like things like Glory. I'm looking to get on things like One Championship. I want to show that, it's a dog-eat-dog world. I want to fight the baddest of the baddest guys around the world, and I feel like those two promotions are it. UFC, they're good, but my whole base is Muay Thai based, Muay Thai and kickboxing. So if I could get to Glory, if I could get to One Championship, I would be satisfied with my career.
Yeah, I wish I could be an announcer or a sideline reporter for them. That would be so cool. I'd love to do this for a living. I really would. I've been in broadcasting for most of my adult life, and this is something I've always wanted to do. And to be able to, I don't know if the UFC would ever call me, but I'm willing to work for any organization that's willing to hire me full time.
I've seen UFC calls a lot of broadcasters. They always need more and more people.
I sure as hell hope so. I need to figure out how to apply for a job then. But I love doing Millions because I get to interview guys like you. I've only been with Millions for less than a year, but I can't wait until the day that I interview somebody, and then years later I say he's doing well, and I go, I know that guy.
But yeah, no, most definitely Glory and One Championship is my goal in this career. If not, then it's okay. At least I had a good career. But
Are you married or having kids?
I have one kid. She's 3 years old, freaking beautiful little girl. That's also why I haven't been fighting a lot. Because coming home with bruises and cuts all over my face, I gotta explain why did I get hurt.
Yeah, but if she was a teenager, if she was a teenager, you could just be kind of like. She'd be funny about it. Dang, Dad, what's up?
Well, she kind of understands it now, but she looks at it as cause she loves Spider-Man for some weird reason. She loves Spider-Man, so she's like, "Oh, okay, my dad's Spider-Man, and he's fighting like Doc Ock or something." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, that's what I'm doing."
Right, you could be that's right. You could be the cartoon Spider-Man guy, the metaverse one. I'm talking. Yeah. He's cool. So what do you plan? So what is next as far as I'm trying to think how to explain it. Do you do a lot of traveling, or do you just stay in the New York area right now?
I do a lot of traveling. I have fought in multiple promotions around XFN. I fought for Cage Titans out in Massachusetts. What's it called? I was supposed to compete for, I believe, Gamebred a couple of months ago, but I didn't feel like I was ready for bare knuckle MMA. I feel like bare knuckle is way too much of a big step. A lot of the bare knuckle promotions have tried to hit me, and I'm just not ready for bare knuckle yet. Maybe soon, but right now, no.
Yeah, hey, good luck to you on that if you do that. I'm telling you, I don't know what's worse, getting hit, or worried about hurting your hand because there's no pads.
Yeah, no, bare knuckle, I would say, is the manliest of man sports.
Yeah, it's up there. Muay Thai is very manly too, though. I'll say that.
Yeah, but you're not bare knuckle.
True, but you're bare kneed.
Oh, that's nothing. That's what the training's for. Bare knuckle is it's like a street fight.
Fair enough. Okay, you win this argument.
Bare knuckle's like a street, especially a promotion like BYB. Their ring is like a triangle, so you have to stay close to one another.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I never thought about that. Okay, yeah, you do have to stay close to each other. There's no like cutting him off or getting cut off or cutting him off. You're kind of either there or you're not, sort of thing.
Yeah, like BYB is it's a pretty interesting promotion, especially the ring concept.
Dude, I believe it. So, what did you do to prepare for this fight? I mean, is cardio a big deal to you?
Huge, especially going into 5 rounds. The cardio was the main concern. I think conditioning too, because it's Muay Thai, so I have to condition myself to. This guy's a boxer, so I already know I have to prepare for anything he throws at me. I'm not too sure if he understands the Muay Thai nature, but that's the name of the game. You never know until you're in there. So it's just everything is all repetition, repetition, repetition. But the main concern was cardio going in, especially this is going to be a 5-round fight. My coach was literally like, don't think you're going to finish this guy early. Plan that you're going to go all 5 rounds and win. So that's just been the main goal ever since the fight was made.
I'm digging it. I get where you're coming from. I mean, as long as you're prepared for that, because I've seen worse fighters win because they were in better shape.
So, well, they're in better shape and they conditioned themselves. You don't want to go out there in the first round and you're like, oh man, I'm tired. I don't think I can do this.
Now you keep saying that conditioning and cardio. What's the difference?
So conditioning is basically like, okay, like if my opponent keeps we're in Muay Thai, so we're in the clinch. If he keeps kneeing me in my stomach or whatever, right, is my body able to handle them shots and still continue to keep going later on, or is it going to affect me down the road? So if he kicks me in my leg and I'm like, oh crap, my leg goes out. Your leg wasn't conditioned to take the kick, So basically, it's like prepping your body to go to take a certain like element.
I hear you. Okay, I get that. And that's why we spar. Although when you get to a certain age, you shouldn't be sparring though, because
you'd be surprised. I was in Cage Titans. There was this guy who was 59 years old and he was competing. It was very crazy.
Yeah, I didn't say competing. I said sparring. Like when Cowboy.
Well, obviously, he was in there sparring. I'm kind of concerned with what he was doing in sparring.
Well, here's what I'm saying is that Cowboy Donald Cerrone, towards the end of his UFC career, said he never sparred. Like he would just like train and work on his technique and all that stuff, and then he would go in the fight because he just said it wasn't good for him to spar all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But when you're younger, that's what sparring is for, is to get you used to getting hit and how to move your head and duck.
Yeah, I think Cerrone had over 40 fights.
He had a lot.
Yeah, so sparring probably didn't mean nothing. It's just another day for him.
Yeah, but he mentioned it because of damage and stuff like that. So do you got any sponsors?
Yeah, I have my sponsors are T Territory. They always make my fight gears and everything. I have Superior Hardwood Flooring. I have Reagan Health Physicians. I have Odd Smoke MMA. It's a lot of local promotions, local businesses, mostly. These guys are really helping me prepare, with meal preps and everything. Regan actually helps with stem cell research and everything, so that helps especially with the aches and pains in your body and everything. So,
are we able to do that here in America?
In the city, they're able to.
It must be a New York. It must be a New York thing because I don't know. I've always wanted to try stem cell research for metabolism.
It's expensive. I think that's why you don't really hear it a lot because it's really expensive.
Yeah, I believe it. I didn't think I guess insurance doesn't cover something like that. Well, that'll work, man. Well, let's promote your fight one more time. Tell me about the fight, where it is, when it is, and where can guys like me watch it?
Yes, I'll be fighting August 9th in Queens, New York for Extreme Cage Fighting. I will be the co-main event. I'll be fighting a 5-round professional Muay Thai fight. You can catch it only on Millions.co. Obviously, if you can't come, tune in to Millions. Millions has always been there since Extreme Cage Fighting started. We're happy that they're part of the Extreme Cage Fighting family, and I'm really excited to fight this guy. coming. I think he's coming from Cali. I think something like
Yeah.
that. He's coming from California, so I'm super excited for this guy to finally fight me. The weight class stinks, but hey, man, the fight's a fight. Hopefully everyone tunes in and has a great time.
Absolutely. Y'all follow Gage at Gage_Looby 227. You know, that's his Instagram. Y'all give him a shout out. You got questions about the fights and stuff like that, y'all reach out to him. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Hank Russell. This has been the Hank Russell Invitation. It has been nothing but the pleasure to talk to this guy. And I want you to keep me posted, Gage, what's going on. Let me know how the fight went. And if nothing else, I will talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Hank. Enjoy your night.
All right, man.